Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Walton, and in this video I'm going to show you 7 business owners that came to my practice and had their brainwaves measured to see if they could create the peak brainwave state known as gamma. So what we did in this experiment was we compared a standard meditation for each of the delegates, and then they did the gamma mindset technique, which is a technique I created that creates this peak brainwave state gamma in just 60 seconds. So we were comparing standard meditation to them doing the gamma mindset technique to see what the difference was in their brains. Let's go. Okay, let's review the brainwave experiments. So the first thing to note is the actual images, the graphs that you're seeing there, are a representation of the difference between gamma brainwaves in meditation and gamma brainwaves doing the gamma mindset technique. So if you were actually seeing that in a real EEG, you'd just see loads of squiggly lines, gamma, alpha, beta, and theta. And what I've done there is just pulled out the gamma because we were, for this experiment, specifically looking at gamma. And what we see is actually that most people hardly create any gamma. The waves at the bottom, if you're actually in reality compared them to the rest of the brain waves, there's very little gamma. When people are just doing a meditation, very little gamma waves show themselves, little trickle, and then they fade away. That's not the case though when you do the gamma mindset technique. When you do the gamma mindset technique, we see at least 2 to 6 times increase in your gamma brainwaves in 60 to 90 seconds. So that's exciting. You know, that's a very exciting finding that 7, 8 with myself, different people, different age groups, different backgrounds, they come in, and even in a clinical setting where you're actually getting wired up, which is then there's a little bit of pressure on you, there's a camera there, there's people sitting and watching, then you have to do a meditation. It's not exactly like you're doing a meditation at home on your own, you know, or the technique, the gamma mindset technique at home on your own. So it's a different sort of environment. But even in that environment, we were getting 2 to 6 times more gamma doing the gamma mindset technique compared to standard meditation. Now, Josh got 2 times more, and Pete got 2 times more, and Quinn got 2 times more. But these are interesting cases. Josh had just flown in from a really busy day at work. He was on the go, thinking a lot, doing lots of activities, still thinking. He literally straight into the room, sat down, we wired him up, and then we expected him to get into meditation. That's difficult for anybody, even an experienced meditator. Firstly, he's very, very busy. Secondly, he comes into a clinic with 4 or 5 people watching and a camera and getting wired up. You know, that's not exactly a relaxing situation. But even during that, he was still able to double his gamma brainwaves during the gamma mindset technique. Whilst doing meditation, we could still see blips of beta, which just showed us he was still thinking a lot. He hadn't quite calmed down. His cognitive activity was still going. And that's not surprising, you know. Again, busy half day at work, straight into a clinic, wired up, people watching in camera. Again, not the ideal meditative space, but he still managed to double his gamma brainwaves. Pete was the cameraman. So Pete was behind the camera all day. And it takes a long time to measure brainwaves. There was 8 of us. It takes the whole day to do that. By the time you're wiring up, measuring it, assess it, next, and so forth and so on. So Pete's brain was absolutely mush. He literally went from behind the camera to in front of the camera, got wired up and went to do the meditations. Again, not very easy. But even again, under sort of a semi-stressful situation, he was still able to double his gamma brainwaves from a meditation. Quinn was an interesting one. I've got a separate video on Quinn because when we were doing Quinn's brainwaves, nothing much changed at first. And I had an intuition. I think there's a subconscious block here. So I got him on the couch and did some subconscious change work, tested his mind, found a block, cleared that block, reprogrammed that belief, and then we tested his brain again. And then we saw a 50% change in his brainwaves. So that's a separate video you can see on the blog, and I highly recommend that because what that's shown was from doing a mindset change, from a subconscious change, we changed the activity of the brain. We increased gamma waves by 50% from doing a subconscious belief change. That's very, very interesting. So these are the things that happen, but the bottom line was we saw an increase from 2 times to 6 times. And the winner on this experiment was Chris from primalalchemy.co.uk. Chris got 6 times the amount of gamma from his standard meditation. That's massive. Izzi got 5 times. Not so surprised about Izzi because she's a meditation teacher and so forth and so on. So this was the experiment. It was a great day. It was a lot of fun. As I say, we spent the whole day measuring brainwaves. What we actually did is did 3 experiments for each person. So we did a standard meditation, measure the brainwaves, a gamma mindset technique, measure the brainwaves, and then we did the gamma mindset technique with just audio. So in the video, you can see they're just doing it without audio. But then we did a 3rd round, which I didn't put on the video because it would take too long, where they were guided with audio, and the audio had special sound technology interwoven into the track. And what we saw with that was everybody then got another 20% increase on top of their gamma from doing it without the audio. And I think mainly the reason for that is because you're literally shutting yourself out of any external noise. The direct guidance comes straight in, you close your eyes and you're much more immersed in the experience than, of course, you know, being able to hear a few shuffles in the room or being aware that there's people in the room when you completely immerse yourself. So that is also a nice finding, and I've seen that many times anyway, that using the audio increases the gamma 20% to not using the audio. So these are the findings. It was a great day, as I say. And once again, we saw that you can rapidly create the gamma mindset, this peak performance brain state in 60 to 90 seconds, no matter whether you're stressed or whether you're relaxed, whatever your age you are, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. You can create this rapid peak performance brainwave, get more of your brain cells firing at the same time and create that peak functioning. And that is a brilliant way to start your day.